On my first night in the new house, I go to sleep only to wake up about 2 hours later. I check my cell to see what time it was, and I see something next to me out of the corner of my eye. I turn towards it and shine the light from my phone towards the pillow next to me. There's the clown doll, just smiling its little creepy fucking smile at me.
Welcome back. We're your host, Savannah.
And Kaylin. We're going to get into some spooky clown stories. So the first one that I have is called Creepy Clown Encounter. I'm going to bring this closer to me. Okay. My story takes place on my college campus during fall of last year. I lived with my grandparents before leaving for school, and I'm extremely close to them. Also, I'm very shy and had zero friends or people I regularly hung out with at school. I wanted to reach out and meet new folks, so I signed up for a salsa dancing club that met on Friday nights. I told my grandma over the phone that she was happy I was putting myself out there. She asked if I was going with anybody. No, I told her. I'm just going to go by myself. Are you sure? She asked. Don't any of your roommates want to go? The idea of talking to my roommates terrified me. I could handle structured gatherings, but personal conversations left more room for awkwardness to creep in. No, they're not here. I don't want you walking around campus by yourself at night. I thought my grandma was just being overprotective. Grandma, it's fine. The streets are well lit and it's only a 10-minute walk. It's perfectly safe. Well, if you're not going to go with anyone, call me and let me talk to you on the phone as you walk back. I agreed. That evening was incredibly fun, learning the basic steps to dance to upbeat Latin tunes. At around 10:30, I felt ready to head back to my dorm, so I snuck out of the building and headed towards my dorm. Although the paved path was I was walking on was lit by streetlights, it seemed darker than usual. In addition, the entire campus was deserted. Normally, there were quite a few kids my age wandering around, but that night there was not a soul to be seen. I dialed my grandma and made small talk with her as I walked. I took my heels off and carried them in my free hand. Now, the path I was walking on went past a stretch of sidewalk that was perpendicular to the one I was taking. Under one of the streetlights, about 10 meters away, I noticed a lone figure standing with its back towards me. The figure, hearing me chatting on the phone, slowly turned towards me. He was tall and heavy-set, with wild red hair and his appearance to be wearing light blue pajamas. His face was obscured by a killer clown mask. The mask was obscured. Oh, wait. The mask was stark white with dark black eye sockets and a twisted, malicious grin. Time seemed to suddenly slow way down. The clown did not move towards me. He simply stood there staring. I knew I had to think fast. I contemplated my options. I could A, scream like a little girl and run, B, approach him and confront him, or C, pretend he didn't scare me. The entire moment I just described couldn't have lasted more than a second, but in the moment it felt like an eternity. Are you there? I heard my grandma say. Remembering to breathe with the phone still at my ear, I decided to go with plan C. I broke eye contact with the clown. So, anyway, I said loudly enough that the clown could hear me. Yeah, I'm on my way, I continued. What's going on? Is everything okay? I heard my grandma ask, her voice suddenly filled with anxiety. As confidently and nonchalantly as I could, I walked past the sidewalk where the clown was standing, continuing to chat. His head slowly turned as I walked past, watching me until I was out of sight. I ducked into the archway of the nearest building and tried the door, praying it was unlocked. It was. Once I was inside, I slumped against one of the concrete walls and broke down in tears. I explained to my grandma what had just happened. My grandma yelled for my grandpa to dial the campus police on his cell phone so that I could stay in line with her. I got up and started pacing down the empty halls, checking every door and window to see if the psycho clown had followed me. Was he just a stupid kid doing this on a dare, or was he someone with more evil intentions? Some of the creepy clowns in the news had axes or baseball bats. I had no idea if mine was armed. When my grandpa tried to explain to the officer on the phone what happened and that I needed help, he told my grandpa, "Your granddaughter needs to make the call herself." Apparently, the reason I had to talk to them was so that they could be sure the call wasn't just a prank or some stupid reason like that. The point is that they wouldn't take my grandparents' word and I was in distress. I would have to hang up with my grandma and dial the campus police myself. Not knowing if I would survive the night, I told my grandma between sobs, "I love you. I love you too," my grandma told them. My grandma, wait, hold on. I dialed campus police and told them who I was and what had happened. The officer on the phone sent several other officers to find me while I stayed on the phone with him and gave him a description of the clown. As I was talking, I heard a door open. I froze. Was the clown here? Did he find a way in? A tidal wave of relief washed over me as several officers came striding down the corridor. They walked with me back to my dorm. As soon as I was inside, I locked the door and window and I shut the blinds. I called my grandma back to her. I called my grandma back to tell her I was safe. After talking a little while longer, we said goodnight. Since then, I've made a few friends at school. While I'm in a better place now, I don't go out alone after dark anymore. And for that creepy clown, let's not meet again. So that's from Let's Not Meet. And then, which I just want to point out, we all just kind of forgot about how there was killer clowns on the loose in like what, 2020? 2019?
I didn't forget. No, my school went on lockdown.
When was that? 2019?
No, I would say it was 2016.
Really? That long ago?
Yep.
Wow.
2016, 2017. And I mean, I don't think it happened in Florida, but there were clown riots.
No, I think they were in Florida.
Really? What?
Pretty sure.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
I just knew about like clowns being assholes.
Killer clowns. Clowns being assholes. No, they were literally killing people.
Wow.
Yeah. But this one is, hold on, wait, let me go to this one first. The clown. When I was about 16, I went to a party with some of my high school buddies. I got pretty drunk and spent the night on my friend's couch. Around 3 a.m., I woke up to go to the restroom. I went down the hallway and turned to enter the restroom when I almost tripped over something. I turned on the light and found a creepy-looking clown doll looking up at me from the floor. I didn't think much of it at the time, kicked it to the side, and did my business and went back to sleep. The next morning, I asked my friend about the doll, and he swore there was no such thing in his house, and it was not where I had left it.
Oh.
I chalked this up to being drunk or him playing a joke on me and left it at that. About 2 weeks later, my parents were out of town and I was staying by myself. I locked the doors and went to sleep. I awoke in the middle of the night and went to the restroom right outside of my room. I turned on the light, and that same damn doll was sitting on my bathroom counter staring at me with the creepiest smile I have ever seen. This crept me the fuck out, and I grabbed it and went to the front door, down the driveway, and threw it into the woods across the street. My friend, whose house I first encountered the doll at, had not been to my house since before the first encounter. This really bothered me for a few days because I had no idea how it would have traveled to my house. I even went to look for it the next day and it was gone. Fast forward a year. I hadn't seen the doll since it was on my counter, and my family and I had moved about 10 miles away. On my first night in the new house, I go to sleep only to wake up about 2 hours later. I check my cell to see what time it was, and I see something next to me out of the corner of my eye. I turn towards it and shine the light from my phone towards the pillow next to me. There's the clown doll, just smiling its little creepy fucking smile at me. I run out of the room and wake up my parents. I tell the story of the doll rather quickly to my dad, and he goes and checks out my room. He returned around 30 seconds later and tells me there's nothing there and to go back to sleep. I have not seen the doll since, and I'm 28 now. I remain afraid of clowns to this day.
Haunted objects are real.
Yeah.
Period.
Fuck that. Creepy. Okay, when I was around 5 to 6 years old, my younger brother and I, who would have been about 4 at the time, were playing in our front yard as we often did. We lived in a very bad town in Southern California, a town that had a bad reputation and numerous tragedies, especially on the street we lived on. Suddenly, I heard laughter coming from across the street. I stopped what I was doing and looked across the street and saw a clown, full suit and makeup, standing on the upper balcony of our neighbor's house. The clown then took out an umbrella and floated down from the upper balcony and landed right in front of where my brother and I were playing. I remember the clown started talking to us, but I can't remember what he said. I just remember that he was very loud and would move his arms wildly when he talked. He then took out 2 large circus-style lollipops and handed one to each of us. The clown said something to us and then pulled the umbrella out and floated back up onto the neighbor's balcony and went inside. I always chalked this up to something I imagined, since I was so young when it happened. I never mentioned it to anyone until I was 19. My brother and I were hanging out with some friends and sharing stories about strange experiences. I decided to retell the clown story, and then all of a sudden, my brother's jaw dropped to the floor. His eyes were the size of dinner plates. He said that he remembered the clown and described details about the incident that I left out. I couldn't believe that he would even remember something like that. I was also in disbelief that it was something that I just imagined. Now, this particular street has its fair share of strange and tragic occurrences, from murders, house fires, and overdoses. It was always considered a cursed street. Could we have imagined this, or was it something that conjured from all of the negative energy of that town/street?
I don't think that it was conjured from the negative energy. I think it was some fucked up shit that perceived itself to just be a clown, like to target those kids.
Yeah, like a demon or something. Someone said
Nothing
that
good.
someone said that the lollipops were drugged.
What?
And I was like, I don't know, but they didn't say anything about eating them.
That would be messed up.
Yeah.
I mean, people have done it
So.
before.
I don't fuck with clowns. Funny enough. We're literally dressed like clowns.
Love clown makeup.
Yeah.
Don't like clowns.
It's fucking lagging. Okay. Yeah, love clown makeup. Don't love clowns. If I saw one in real life, I'd probably flip out. Like, even just circus clowns creep me out. But like a serial killer clown? Or like, what would you do if you were just walking down the street and you saw a fucking clown standing there on the sidewalk?
I'd keep walking.
But like away from it?
I'm gonna go where I needed to go. I'm not gonna acknowledge the clown. John Wayne Gacy ruined clowns.
Yeah.
He really did. It's so
Yeah.
sad because like it has so much history, especially in the circus like
Yeah.
environment. But I literally like you just said serial killer clown. No.
Yeah. I'm good on that. That's why I don't like going to haunted houses, which Savannah went. She'll tell you about her experience, but literally anyone could be a murderer and just work in a haunted house.
What?
They could.
I mean, I didn't really think of it like that.
Like, what if, like,
They
you
could be
know,
getting their kicks in.
exactly, and no one would fucking know.
Be careful, guys. Be careful.
Be careful. But with that being said, I know today was all over the place. So thank you for bearing with us. I love your eyebrows just make it look like you're so miserable. She's not forced to be here. She had a choice.
Yes, it was the choice.
But thank you so much for watching. As always, our Halloween episode, Savannah will be back. Thank God. So stay tuned for that. We're gonna be playing some fun games, telling more scary stories, as always, for the month of October. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Thank you so much. Bye.